Hey, this is Mike from Junkyard Crafts and Builds, and in this episode of From the Junkyard, we're going to talk about an add-on kit that has been designed, printed, and sold by a friend of mine on his Etsy page, ToxicToyDepo. And he has a lot of really cool things for our G.I. Joe Classified Series vehicles. Specifically, we're going to talk about the Treble Bubble. Now, as we all know, the Treble Bubble came out mid-late summer of last year. This one was really hard to get. It sold out relatively quick on Hasbro Pulse. It was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. And then we saw a Python Patrol version of this vehicle set for $10 less, and it was a Target exclusive. So 2023 was always a little bit of an odd duck for Hasbro and the Joe team. Neither here nor there. So I got the Treble Bubble. I think it's a really neat vehicle. I had it when I was a kid, and the Classified Series version doesn't disappoint. But it does. And I'll get into that as we go through the reasons why I bought this add-on kit for the Treble Bubble and the Televapor. So join me as we go through the upgrade kits from ToxicToyDepo for the G.I. Joe Classified Series Treble Bubble. So like I said, the Treble Bubble came out last year, and it is a really interesting vehicle to get for our Classified Series collection. To kind of go through this set real quick, because I never really did it before, I'm just going to do the highlights of it, and we're going to start with the pilot, which is the Cobra Televapor. This is the support unit for Cobra in regards to communications and whatnot, and this figure is a really good design and a really good figure overall. The deco with this kind of matte purple and black against this really dark blue and black suit looks really sharp. I really enjoy looking at this figure. He's got this little readout here on his forearm. You know, he's got his Cobra Tampo, which looks really sharp. The boots and everything, all of it really well done. He comes with his signature backpack that has a little bit of purple deco on the top here. This hose we've seen with Dr. Mindbender. A lot of people have been saying, you know, this is a weapon. Others say that this is a tool for him to scan and receive information and compute it. I'm of the opinion of it that yes, this is a tool that helps him gather information. I can't do the whole, you know, laser cannon type thing. It could be a sonic blaster if you wanted to go offensive with it. I mean, it's got a blast effect, whatever you're going to do with it, right? The cool part about this figure is that it also came with not just one, but two alternate helmets. So we have one alternate head, which kind of has the same sculpt, but it's for a darker skinned person. And then we have this fully masked Classified Series helmeted head, which looks really cool. It looks really imposing. Definitely technology infused. I like this one a lot. So that is the figure, right? All the standard Classified Series articulation and whatnot. But the real thing that I wanted to look at is the detail on the Treble Bubble here. Now this thing has a lot of really amazing detail inside. There you go, a nice tampograph display on the yoke here. And again, a lot of deco on the inside and outside of this craft. It's really well designed, but it's not perfect. And I'll get to those items right now. First and foremost, the clear plexiglass, plastic top. It doesn't really tab in well on both sides. You can get this side in, but not this one. And that's been a design flaw across the board with both this and the Python Patrol vehicle. Kind of unfortunate. It is what it is though. the other part is when we get the Televiper inside, which we will do right now. And here we have the Televiper inside the trouble bubble. And while it's really cool in that he actually, can sit in here really well, the one challenge that a lot of collectors had was the fact that, there's nothing to hold his feet in place. So if you were flying this device, you're kind of dangling and wangling all over the place down here, and it kind of looks a little odd. And the biggest item for this trouble bubble is there's no real way to kind of display it flying, which is kind of the whole point of the trouble bubble, is he's going to be moving around in this, so why not have a way to utilize existing Hasbro displays or other displays to get this to fly. Once again, leave it to the toy community to come up with a solution. So along here you see the items that came with that set. We have the flight stand adapter, the stealth adapter, and this is going to be for our Mezco stand. Again, he does make stands for NECA as well. We have the foot plate that we'll install. We have some really cool blast effects that he made for the missiles, and we'll install those real quick. And finally, we have some blast effects that he created for the back of the turbines. So let's go ahead and get all this stuff together. So first we're going to install the foot plate, and that's going to slide in right here underneath this little bar that holds the front yoke in place for steering. And it just slides right in, clicks into place, and it's just that easy. We now have a place to put our figure's feet while he's flying here on the trouble bubble. There's that look right there. I can clean it up a little bit more, but overall, now he's got somewhere to put his feet. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and get our flight stand in position and put our blast effects for our turbine in. And what we're going to do is take our turbine set here, and we're going to slide in the Mezco stealth position here, and it just effortlessly slides right in over those notches. You got to set it so that way the flight stand can go into the bottom hole here. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and put in our blast effects. So you can see that there's a notch that allows it to slide up in between the directional planes, and it's made to just fit nice and snugly into the bottom of the turbines. So that's how they look. Now again, that does restrict the fins from moving, but I think we'll be okay with doing that. And we're just going to slide this back into position. Again, the stealth piece does not hinder the friction connection for the turbines. And now all we're going to do is take our flight pod and plug it into my Mezco stand here. Again, if you tighten your screws on your Mezco stand, it'll work a lot easier, but there we go. Now we have our trouble bubble in flight with some turbine blast effects going on here. And it looks really good. I really like the work that ToxicToyDepo has done here for these trouble bubbles. Really cool stuff. And here is the trouble bubble from the back with the stealth adapter installed and the blast effects in the turbines. So let's close this out by having our Cobra Televiper firing off some rockets. So I've gone ahead and reinstalled the rockets or missiles onto the side of the trouble bubble here. And now we're going to take our blast effect and we're going to be launching this one off. As you can see, this is a piece of white FDM printed plastic. And then we've got this nice blast colorization effect. And then we have this 4-notched kind of crown piece that's going to fit over the back of the missile. So let's go ahead and get this on. We're just going to plug the blast effect bottom into the barbell, and then we're going to take our rocket and it's going to slide in like so. And then all you do is plug it right back in. And there we have the blast effect in place and launching off the missile. And that looks really cool. I do like it. And I know he's been putting together different lengths of blast effects. So if you want to have them kind of going off at different times, you can definitely get that going. I think it looks really good just like this. You know, he's made adjustments and new weapon systems and stuff for the treble bubble. I do really think this is cool, and I think this is a neat way to display this vehicle and pilot set for your classified collection. And just because I can't stand seeing a weapon system without a blast effect, here we have a Valiverse blast effect inside the laser cannon facing front here, so he is fully armed and dangerous against the Joe team. So my final impressions of the ToxicToyDepo treble bubble after add-on effects, blast effects, whatever you want to call it. Do I feel that they are worth the money that I paid to get this? And I would say yes. I do really think that his stealth stands for both NECA and Mezco are really smartly designed, and they do work really well. The only challenge you ever have with a flight stand is making sure that the screws are tight enough to hold the weight. But the blast effects, I really think he did a bang-up job in setting these up for these rockets to fly off. And I know he's improved over time with his printing process and painting. He's got a lot of variety going on, not only for the treble bubble, but for the HasLab Cobra Hiss tank and the McFarlane Batmobile, plus other stuff that he's got coming out over the next couple months. He is a really good 3D printer. I highly recommend picking up this set and some of those other weapon sets that go on the treble bubbles, not only for the default color here, but also for the Python Patrol version of the treble bubble and Televiper. So hopefully check them out. If you do, let me know in the comments below how you feel about these upgrade kits. Do you like it? Do you think it looks a little cheap because it's 3D printed? Let me know in the comments below. I always love reading feedback from everyone. And if you like what I'm doing here and I've earned your subscription, I thank you so very much for your time looking at this stuff. There's a lot of things on YouTube, and I really appreciate you viewing what I have here. So until next time, everyone, bye.